But if the artists don't speak up, then who will? They already sing about these things, if vaguely, in their songs. So why not actually grow a spine and actually talk about these issues and show us that they care about the things that they are supposedly referencing in their songs? Hi, I'm Mahmoud. So this was supposed to be a review of the new Straight From The Path album, Clockworked, which is awesome. But upon release, they hit us with the news that they will be breaking up. One last round of tours, and then that will be it. And that bummed me out big time. Not just because of the music. Let me elaborate. So, please indulge me and my thoughts on this. This is going to be a rant. This is going to be mostly improvised. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So, let's open this up for discussion. Leave your comments down below, and I will make sure that I will get to each and every one of you an answer. Let's keep this respectful, though. That's all I ask. There are few bands in the metal scene right now that are needed more than ever, and Stray is one of them. Let's jump into this. When I think of metal, and the metalcore scene to be specific, and what these bands stand for, at least in my mind, it's things like speaking for the weak, political opinions said out loud, attacking the oppressors, talking openly about mental health struggles, and things like the fearless attitudes towards bigger dogs. Of course, there's always been the bad side to the metal scene as well, especially the metalcore scene, with certain figures being dicks, if not straight up criminals, but we'll leave that to the side for now. Where there's people, there's always going to be some less than stellar beings, but that is not what I want to talk about today. What saddens me more than anything today in the metal scene is the lack of teeth. It seems to me that the only figures these days in our metal scene that dare speak up and speak loudly are the controversy-seeking shitsters, and they're only doing it for their own gain. It's never in favor of something, it's just always against something or against someone, and just being dicks. There are so few metal bands these days that are actually commenting on anything of substance, it seems to me, lest it damages their sales. Keeping the peace and being quiet for the sake of their ticket sales, I would guess, has seemingly become the norm for most of the bands that I pay attention to. Be neutral. Do not offend anyone. Don't speak your mind. Don't stand for anything has seemingly become the mantra for most metal bands these days, even to the detriment of the people that are actually supporting them. And amongst them are so many of my favorites. And this whole fake inclusivity thing of allowing anyone and everything into our scene has led to this paradox of exactly the wrong kind of people feeling emboldened within our scene. And these people that are feeling emboldened are exactly the ones that are creating this immense divide within the scene itself. Why are the big bands so damn gutless? Where's your pride? Where's your courage? Even in their lyrics, they've become gutless. You sing about these things in the world in the vaguest terms possible, lest anyone be actually able to figure out what you're singing about. But when shit in the real world actually hits the fan, none of them are actually talking about it at all. Like 99% of the bands that I follow have not posted anything about the situations that are going on in the world right now. And this is where I tie it back to Straight From The Path. They straight up tell you what they think. And they stand behind the messages in their songs. Listen to a few Stray songs and pay attention to what's actually being said in the music, and you will know exactly where their hearts lie. And I fucking need that more than ever these days. As a Palestinian, the lack of words, the lack of comment on anything about what my people are going through, the genocide and the oppression, has truly, truly upset me. I thought these bands actually stood behind the messages in their songs, but almost none of them talk about anything but where to buy their next merch drop online. And yes, I get it. None of them should be forced to speak up about anything, and I am not entitled to anyone's opinion on the matters. But if the artists don't speak up, then who will? They already sing about these things, if vaguely, in their songs, so why not actually grow a fucking spine and actually talk about these issues? And show us that they care about the things that they are supposedly referencing in their songs. It was always art, musicians, poets, authors, and other artists that have pushed the revolutions of this world forward. And I truly resent how cowardly the music scene has become. If and when someone says anything at all, it always has to be put in a relative sentence where, yeah, but we also welcome the other side and we should find peace. And like, no one speaks about true justice and the oppression that so many in this world are facing these days. And it's just so upsetting. It is. Why speak about these things in your songs when you're not actually standing behind the shit that you talk about? They always write about these things in their songs, but then when it actually matters and they are on stage and able to speak up about these things, they don't stand behind it. Not one of the musicians in our scene with an actual platform has spoken up about anything that is happening in the world right now. Be it the genocide that my people are going through, the rise of fascism in the US, which is incredibly concerning for the whole world, or even something as seemingly black and white as the war in Ukraine. Nothing. Which is why losing a band like Stray in these times is beyond devastating to me. We need their voice, and we need their courage now more than ever. Sure, one could argue that all of these opinions that I'm talking about are a hardcore thing and not a metal thing, but I'm talking about metalcore. Surely metalcore hasn't just taken the breakdowns and some two-step riffs from the hardcore genre. Surely there must be some morality and some ethics involved in this as well. At least that's what I'm hoping. Like forget about posting stuff. Like, why has no one talked about any of these things in interview or on stage? If anyone has in the metal scene, and I'm not talking about the hardcore scene has done their shit. The metal scene, the metalcore scene, if they've talked about these issues, I must have missed it. Nothing to hurt the line, right?